From the high plains of the Midwest, I bid you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever your time zone might be. My nod to the late and great Art Bell. I'm Keith Sharp.
And I'm G. Dressel.
And we welcome you to Life After Life, a paranormal webcast where we talk about the paranormal, UFOs, or the unexplained. And the biggest question of them all, what happens when we die? Stay tuned. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? I said everybody twice in a sentence.
You did.
Webcast. I know. That stuff freaks me out.
I know.
Because you were there when we both recorded it, right?
Yes.
We're sitting there. We did a few takes. Webcast. I thought I said podcast.
Was webcast like a thing?
Our original plan, everybody, was to do me and Garrett were just going to do a podcast. We weren't even going to do the live thing until
edited and
right. Oh my God, that was a nightmare.
Well, that's not our style.
No. And plus my cousin, who was a moderator during the very, very first shows, she would listen to this and she goes, "This is some of the funniest stuff I've ever heard." But she was saying our interaction between each other, right?
Yeah.
So she said, "You guys have to start doing lives." And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Too many things can go wrong live. Like possibly tonight we may have something."
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so as you guys know, we have booked
Kelly
Sullivan Walden. She's a best-selling author. She's been on Dr. Oz. She's been on Coast to Coast. She's been on Jimmy Church's show.
I love. Oh, you love Jim. Yeah, you love.
I love Jimmy Church. She's been on a lot of TV shows, man. And her new book out is A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste. And this one doesn't talk. I just started reading it a couple days ago, which is very nice. I don't know if you noticed, she sent us a free PDF of the book.
Yes, I did.
And I just bought it the day before. And I was like, "Oh,
yeah, no, that's good.
I want my money back."
No,
just teasing. But so I started reading it. And it's not so much about dreams more than taking parts of your life that were tragic and turning them into magic. And now that's her saying, I didn't steal that.
It's a lot about perspective.
It's perspective, how you look at things and how we have challenges every day, and that we should embrace those challenges and learn from those challenges.
Because it's going to happen regardless.
So I'll just let you know she has not called in yet.
Yeah. Which is, I'm sure, because we've been talking back and forth for how many days now?
We've been in contact with her. It was yesterday.
Dude, it's been a while though. Because I heard about Kelly from my wife, Cass, who listens to a show called Off the Vine with Caitlin Bristow. She's God, you got to get this. You got to get this lady on. She's amazing. So I started reached out to her, and immediately she's like, "Yes, let's do it." But yeah, no, like you said earlier, she's worked with so many different people. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, she's been in little parts of movies. Wrote 10 books, best-selling author. She's big time. So of course she's not coming on our show.
Yeah, she's like, I hate you.
She probably looked at how many these guys only have like 2,000 followers.
Hey, while we're here though, what we can say is we do have something in the works with
we do. We got a kind of a big announcement, don't we, Garrett?
We do.
For October. So Garrett, why don't you tell, it's November. We're going to be holding an event. And if you guys want to come, you local guys, or if you want to fly in. You know what we should do? We should sponsor, like, somebody win a free ticket or something.
We should. I was gonna say something. Hey,
God, the ceiling fan's blowing everything around.
Yeah. No. Military Medium.
We are going to do a 4-day event. We are going to do. He's going to do readings, right?
Yes.
Possible seance.
Yes.
Which I'm not sure about. I might be
worried about.
Yeah, I might be in another room watching that.
No, what did I say? We'll be in a glass.
But we're
box.
with Dean and yeah, I know,
Dean's
right?
The man.
But we're with Dean, so I'm sure Dean do protective prayer. He would be able to clear us, and I think it would be a fine.
Oh. No, what he said, it's more modern than I think what you are familiar with. And kind of a different practice. So
yeah, and I get, I'm open to it, and I'm hoping we're going to be able to do a ghost investigation one day, and then we are going to do I believe a UFO hunt with Dean.
Yes.
If anybody could bring a UFO, I think it'd be Dean. Hello, Susie. Thanks for showing up.
What's
Tara,
up,
thanks for showing up. Hey, Garrett, thanks for showing up.
Hey, Keith.
Appreciate it.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, we even said it when we were out on that property. We were like, if Dean was here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we may try that with that past guest that we had.
Yes.
He just wasn't able to make it.
Dude.
So in fact, we might try that next Wednesday if I can work things out.
And the weather.
He's the guy that, remember, we went to his house and tracked and we actually saw something, so it'd be very, very cool if we see something out in that field.
What's going on at Bonnie's? What is that?
Oh, Bonnie, we got to get down to Bonnie's. We do. She's got, go to her little Facebook page, and she's got so many it's out in front of her house, bouncing around and just, blinking at her, and it's just crazy.
Disappearing, reappearing.
Yes. But we got to get like I said, man, when we go out there, we got to get a camera.
Dude. She's doing a
good camera. Anyway, so I just want to say for you guys who just tuned in, Kelly, I want to say Kelly Ann all the time, Kelly Sullivan Walden, who's a dream analyst. She's had 10 books, best-selling author, been on Dr. Oz, all these channels. She still hasn't signed in yet, so it may be a no-show. I don't know. We'll give her some time. Me and Garrett we can talk about, like we said, we got this event. Tell them the dates of our event that we're going to be doing.
It's going to be so I think he is actually going to be here through Halloween, which is freaking awesome.
Was it November 26th through the?
No, October.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. October 26th through the 31st.
Yep.
Now, is he leaving on the 1st of November?
Yes, probably that following day.
So how are you going to work this out? Because every time we try to do a Halloween special, you always got stuck at home.
Hey, well, first off, I'm kind of curious because one of my kids might have some mediumship abilities, right?
Oh.
And so I'm interested to see kind of while he's here with his energy, because he's got great energy, right?
Yeah.
And so just I'm kind of curious. I'm just curious. So I want the kids to be around. I want our families to meet him. I think he's a remarkable human being. He's doing awesome things, right?
Yeah.
So the seance is interesting though.
I know. Yeah, the seance thing, like I said,
because I said
I'll probably do it. I'm just like when I did the ghost hunting thing, and I had so many ghosts follow me, and then I got attacked and all that. Remember, I put everything away. I was done. I was like, I'm not bringing that shit in the house anymore.
I know.
And cleared it out. So I just don't want to go to a seance and then have some freaking spirit follow me home and cause havoc.
Yeah, again. like we said, like he goes back to Michigan, and it's
he goes back to Michigan. He's fine. And me and Garrett are stuck with this spirit, right?
No, like I was saying, you should watch Surviving Death. All of you guys, watch Surviving Death on Netflix. It's a great series. It's a Netflix series, so it's not going away.
Hi, Cassidy.
Hi, Cass. Definitely watch it. They actually do some forms of seance on there, and you can see what it's all about. So
yeah, I know, but I may be watching you guys from a window.
Yeah, me too. I might actually be with you. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because
it's gonna be all Phil, right?
Well, yeah, because Dean and him, we're in a group text together, so we're planning this big event for the end towards the end of the year, and he brings up seance, and I responded, I go, wait, what, a seance? And I go, and the funny thing is, I said, is that spiritually safe? And if you notice, Dean did not respond to that.
He didn't.
He skipped over that and started talking about something else, and but then he said, well, seance, he goes, it means to sit. And I was like, we're not going to just sit there.
No.
We're going to be summoning spirits.
Because he was also like, hey, can you find me a haunted location to do a seance in? It wasn't just like, hey, can we just go sit in some like hotel lobby or something? No, it's like, I need a haunted. Yeah, just skated right over it, didn't he?
He did. So talking about that, there are a few haunted locations, but where would we go for that?
Man, so I want to reach out to the Spirit Fair. I want to like get our tentacles kind of out there and find a place that, there's energy and there's these kind of locations everywhere. And it's kind of like, Kelly, if she doesn't come on tonight, she'll reach out, she'll come back on. But even like it's all about intentions, right? And so kind of like what I was saying about the dreams earlier, is it one of those things where, I always said the changing diapers thing, where you have kids, you start changing diapers and you like lose focus with it.
Right.
So there might be locations out there that nobody's really paying attention to. We gotta ask, where in Oklahoma City can we do a seance?
We can reach out. Well, we can reach out to we can reach out to Tanya Womack from Oklahoma Paranormal.
Yeah.
So she could probably steer us in the right direction, and
a seance location, please.
Yeah. So if you once Garrett and I and Dean get this all to plan, it'd be great if we could meet some of you guys. If you guys,
absolutely.
Of course, it would. It might be a long drive or a long flight. Sorry about that. But that'd be cool, man. If we all could get together and meet some of you guys and actually attend some of these events together.
Well, I think that's the direction we're kind of going into.
Yeah,
doing these events, freaking awesome.
I would even say this: if they fly, if these people that watch us fly in or drive through, they get a free weekend pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if any of you guys actually come to our event, we'll give you a 4-day pass. Or whatever. Was it 4 days?
Yep, 4 days.
Yeah, 4-day pass. So every day is going to be something special. And then I think that he's wanting to do like a party on the very last day.
Yep. And he's also doing a gallery, and he's also doing.
What is it? Did you find out what the gallery?
No, we're going to get together. That's what the Zoom is going to be tomorrow. We're going to meet.
Have art or something?
That's what I'm like. Well, so that's why I was like, man, is a gallery where there's like, you're in like a, some sort of amphitheater or like some classroom or something. And we're just like there watching Dean and he's just filling it. You know what I mean? Like, is that what it is? That'd be cool.
Hey, man. I mean, one of the days he could do a lecture, right?
Yes.
Next day could do readings.
Because he's doing classes.
No, wait a minute. Let's do lecture and readings on the same day if possible.
Yes.
That way we can fit in the UFO thing, right?
Yes.
Then we do the seance and then we have the party.
Yeah, because how weird is it that UFO connection that he has? Okay, not UFO, extraterrestrial. I mean, because that came through. I was talking to Cass about that last night.
Hey, shout out to Glam Van. Thanks for showing up, Glam Van. Hadn't seen you in a while.
Hey, Turbo.
And again, before, go ahead and finish your thought.
No, good.
No, I'm just updating the people who just got here. We were supposed to have Kelly Sullivan Walden.
Sweet name, by the way.
Yeah,
it's a cool name.
And I want to call her Kelly Ann. I don't know why.
You've been battling that.
That sounds like a next door neighbor.
You've been battling that.
Kelly Ann.
Yeah, you're like, dude, I want to call her Kelly Ann.
I'm just gonna call her Kelly Ann. But anyway, she hasn't got back with us. Hopefully she will be here. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Daddy.
Hey, Daddy. Hi, Daddy.
That's our funny Southern accent thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're gonna give her some time, and me and Garrett can fill the time. And if we just have to do the show, we'll reschedule her. But she's super interesting lady. She's and I do want to push that book again. A crisis is a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. Which I bought it. I'm reading it, and basically, it's really cool. It's about basically taking tragic things that's happened to you and turning them into something positive, something that you've learned from. Look, it's 10, 9, 8.
It's it's the like we said earlier, it's making an advantage out of a disadvantage, right?
So she goes through, like, okay, for instance, on a dream or something happened, she's got this thing called OGLE. OGLE. And so O stands for offending. So identify the offending behavior, right? G is find the good in the offending behavior. L, determine how you're peering into the looking glass, how you're looking at it. And 3, ask how this will elevate you, or what elevated, what I can't read Garrett's
action you will take.
Action you will take. Yeah. So, right. So what will you do to improve that situation? She was on, if you guys get a chance, she was on Jimmy Church Fade to Black in February. Great interview. And he actually shares some personal stuff I didn't even know about him.
Right.
About him actually divorcing his parents when he was 15.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
I was like, huh? What?
How tragic would it be that you feel so unloved? And when he did
illegally,
and then the fact that he went into the Air Force. And some of you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with Jimmy Church. He's from coast to coast, but he has his own show called Fade to Black. But he joined the military, and he needed his dad to drive him. And he said, he goes, I threw my stuff in the back of the car, got in. He said, my dad didn't say a word to me the whole drive. I got out. Dad didn't say good luck, love you, son, anything like that. Shut the door and just drove away.
Crazy.
And so he's had to deal with that traumatic experience, that and his mom. And he said he did keep in touch with his mom through the last few years, but it was always by phone call. It was never seen. And then his dad has reached out to him saying something about he was sorry how he was, blah, blah, blah. But Jimmy just like, hey, I'm glad you did it, because what you did is you turned me into a great parent.
Tragic and the magic. Yeah,
tragic and the magic, as Kelly would say. And so he said, because that was one of the questions that Kelly said, I bet you're a great dad. And he goes, you bet.
Yeah.
He goes, so I learned how to to treat my kids and how to love my children. And so he thanked his dad. He said, I think he goes, and he said, he just wrote one sentence, thank you for making me a good dad. That's all he said.
Right, right.
But I thought, man, that's cool, man. Because you think about, actually not feeling loved by your parents and not having a connection, you'd feel so lonely and you'd be so resentful.
Well, she says there's like, 50% of the time it's PTSD. The other 50% of the time it's PTG. So instead of post-traumatic stress disorder, that PTG stands for post-traumatic growth, right? So like in that scenario, Jimmy could have very easily not felt loved by his parents, and that could have turned into some really negative PTSD of some sort.
Yeah.
And maybe it did. And from that, though, like you said, he was able to fill the void and turn it to PTG. That's why he became a great parent, right?
Right.
Dude, you mentioned it earlier about when all the grandkids came over and it was crazy.
Yeah, that's something I was going to share with her is like, for instance, I had all my grandkids over 2 weeks ago, and it was fun. They were doing dress up and
funny kids,
modeling their clothes, and they're funny. And so the next morning, I went downstairs and there's popcorn all over the floor. There's Skittles, M&Ms, and I'm like, so I'm grabbing the vacuum cleaner, and then I thought, you know what? I should be thankful that I have grandkids to pick up after,
and that want
to clean up after,
and that want to come over,
and that want to come to my house. Right. Yeah. So I turned that into a very positive. Instead of going, God, man, why are they so damn messy? Why can't they pick up after themselves? No, I actually embraced that and thought, and made me in a better mood. I was like, man, how cool is this? I've got grandkids to clean up after.
Right.
Because some people don't have grandkids. Some people don't even have kids.
Right.
So they don't experience that love, what that's like, that relationship. But the fact, like you said, that they even want to come and stay at my house, and have a party, man. So,
well, it's like I was saying earlier too about, what Kyle with the baseball players. Mm-hmm. And isn't the brain and the mind such an interesting thing? Like even researching for this, I was telling you that whenever we dream, the conscious part of your brain actually shuts off, which is very interesting, right? Mm-hmm. The emotional and fearful side of your brain is activated during your dream state. So the brain is so interesting. What Kyle was saying as a Major League Baseball scout is when guys aren't hitting well and they're missing a lot, normally they're like, in their mind, they're saying to themselves, man, I have to go bat. But once they say, I get to go bat, I get to go do this, it's an opportunity, they start to do better, right? Yeah. And so no, this little like rabbit hole we've gone down with dreams and AI and aliens over the last like 4 weeks, dude, how it's so intertwined is so interesting to me. And it's fascinating.
It seems like the whole AI thing has exploded in the last 3 weeks. I mean, we did a show last week and they were doing the Beatles songs and stuff. It's funny that now these new Beatles songs are popping up all the time. And not only that, but other artists as well. Like they got the Beach Boys, they actually found an old demo that the Beach Boys did. It was really rough, and AI cleaned it up, put all their harmonies on it, and it sounds fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's the whole thing's insane. AI, and so then I started thinking maybe I should be kind of worried about this because this could get real negative.
Well, Cass was saying, she showed me something shortly after our show, a couple days, 2 or 3 days, a camera that's ran by AI. It does everything for you. It takes the picture, edits it, you just tell it what you want.
That's cool.
And it's unless you're a photographer and you're really good at editing, and that's what separates you from the rest of the crowd, right? Kind of like what you're saying with music.
Yeah,
like
but
you as a musician.
But I guess in a way, though, it could make you more productive, right?
Well, that's the argument I had last week.
If she's like, because I remember when Kaz is editing, she gets stressed out.
Yeah, it's a ton. It's like, yeah.
So now it's like if she can just boom, 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 edit it, it's less stress on her.
But how quickly until everybody?
And if she wants to create, she can take some time on her own, and get creative with it.
Here's the fear, like I was talking to you earlier about with Kennedy. She does architecture, right? Mm-hmm. And she's probably listening to this, so this is a good time to address it because it's been on my mind, Kennedy. So I love that she wants to be an architect and go to Vanderbilt and has these really like high aspirations. But then we did the AI thing, and I'm like driving through the neighborhood, and like I said to you earlier, what stops it from us building an AI program that we're like, hey, you know what? We need a new building in town. I want it to look like this, the parameters, this, how many acres it has. And AI in 5 seconds develops you 20 different models to choose from, right?
Right.
So it's happening just so quick though, right?
And it would be so exact. I mean, the blueprints and everything would be,
The reason I'm battling with talking to Kennedy though about it is because of my argument last week, which was to you about the music is, okay, so this jump and intelligence and all this stuff, does this just make her ability to be creative different? Like, should I even bring it up to my kids? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Should I just let them run into a wall, or should we be talking about AI? What do you think?
I think it's going to take, I think you got time.
You do?
I think.
Dude, the last 3 weeks were like.
I know. Man, I don't know. Because like I said, it's going to be employless stores. That's what scares. I mean, people losing their jobs. Your economy is going to crash somewhat, I would think. Right. But like you're saying, but I'm hoping that some of it'll be so advanced. It's like, okay, maybe in 10 years, but I don't know. But even that guy said, the godfather of AI, he said what he was foreseeing in 10 years has happened in 5.
That's what I'm saying, because it's compounding.
I know.
It's compounding.
Man, I don't know, dude. I don't have
Can I really
an answer.
fast, and she's not on yet, can I take it one step further? So the architecture thing is interesting, but then I'm driving through my neighborhood, which is pretty new. It's been there for about 10 years. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, so if there's a plot of land, somebody has to mathematically, the roads, it has to go through a lot of different people to get this, pipes, everything, electric, everything that goes into it. Really, now they can just be like, okay, AI, I need 4,000 houses on this land. I need half of them to be 3-bedroom, half of them to be 2-bedroom. I need 200 duplexes in there. Put it AI, boom.
But you know what? You need people who are working to buy those homes.
True. I know. It's a slippery slope, right?
Does it slow down production because now jobs are replaced, unemployment's horrible, people can't afford to buy
Money's
houses,
non-existent,
and they're looking at it. Oh man, this productivity. Now we, you don't have to wait that long to. We can zone you real quick now. We can do this. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
But that puts someone out of job, right?
Right.
So if this goes across the board, then that's my question. Exactly. So do we have people that are going to be able to buy houses as fast as they can do them now? Probably not.
Right.
So they're going to be losing.
AI will be useless.
And in the future, it's going to be, it's going to be where no one's going to be able to, can't buy nothing.
Right.
Because we have no jobs.
Right. Well, because what happens is,
you're still going to, like the medical field, I think will be good. I think where the medical field, like we talked about radiology, and AI reading x-rays at a crazy number speed with a high productivity rate, with a high accuracy rate.
Right.
But you're always going to need nurses and therapists like myself that has to be hands-on. A robot's not going to be able to go do range of motion. It probably could, but it would still be.
She saw it pick up that apple.
I know, but at the same time, that's so impersonal. I think, first of all, it would scare people, especially the elderly people. Is not going to want a robot coming in doing therapy or a nurse or anything like that.
What about in 30 years though, when people don't like people? When people have grown up not being around people?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to take. It's going to be an evolution of time.
Yeah.
I think really, I think it's going to be an evolution of time before those things will actually, where it's like, oh shit, we need to worry.
Well, I thought it was really interesting that the guy that created DeepMind and then sold it to Google 4 years later, in 2010, he said he couldn't get any investors, couldn't raise any money. And in 4 years, by 2014, he had sold it for like $200 billion, something crazy. But my point is, how technology is, how expensive were cell phones in the 90s? Those big clunky things were like $2,000 and you could have one, right?
Yeah.
Now for $1,000,
bag phone too.
All of this, you know what I'm saying? Like we could essentially run everything we want from this.
Right.
So as technology gets better, cost goes down. More people have access to it. It gets better.
You don't like a company does not have to buy $1 million machine. With that GPT-4 thing, when I was asking it questions and I said, write a song for me. Boom. It did it. Come up for plans for something. Boom. Come up a slow, for the Elvis tribute band. I said, come up with a slogan. Boom. It did it. And that's all on my phone.
Have you asked it this? I'm so glad you brought this back up. Have you asked it, how do we get peace on earth?
I'll do it right now.
Because how do we get clean water to everybody? Like, I want to know.
But there's some things that it just will not, like, when you start talking about aliens and ghosts, that it doesn't go into what it thinks. It's like, well, the science shows there's actually no proof of aliens or ghosts or blah blah blah. So
Right.
so it doesn't really give you a great answer on any of that stuff. But let's see if I can find it. GPT-4. Okay, so what did you want me to ask it?
How do you get peace on Earth?
It's going to be like a 5-paragraph.
Hey, Matt Sullivan. What's up, Matt?
Matt, hey, by the way,
too,
I did
dude.
love you too, buddy. Listen, I did see your deal about going live. I've been super, super busy, and yeah, we'll do a live thing for sure, man. No problem. So anyway, how do we get peace on Earth?
Yeah, because I'm like,
it's going to take me forever to write this. Okay, so we're asking AI. Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Oh Lord, I knew it was going to be okay. I won't read all this. Look, it's doing it in numbers. Like, this is what we do. This is what we do.
It's breaking it down for
you.
you.
Look at it. It's breaking it down. And it's doing it very, very quickly.
Very quickly.
Okay, I'm going to wait until it stops, and then I'll read a little bit of this to you. Okay, so anyway, it says, all right, so how do we get peace on Earth? Achieving peace on Earth is a complex and multifaceted challenge, but there are several key principles and actions that can contribute to creating a more peaceful world. Here are some steps that can help promote peace. I'll just read through them. Promote understanding and empathy. Encourage dialogue and understanding between different cultures, religions, and nations. Foster empathy by recognizing and respecting the perspective and experiences of others.
I want it now.
Number 2, exactly. Address root causes of conflict. Identify and address the underlying causes of conflict, such as poverty, which, that's not going to work, inequality, injustice, and lack of access to resources. Work towards creating a fair and inclusive societies that provide opportunities for all individuals. Isn't that the problem, though?
That's because it's not there yet.
Each person,
AI is not there yet.
No, because everybody has their own. Like, some people were growing up to be racist. You're not going to change them.
Right.
I mean, so it's saying, yeah, we just got to be equal and blah blah blah. But there's too many people that are negative thinkers.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah,
that didn't give me like the answer that unlocked everything.
Disarmament and arm control. Promote disarmament efforts, which we're doing anyway, and arms control agreements to reduce the proliferation of weapons and decrease the likelihood of conflicts escalating to violence. Well, again, you're dealing with personalities, and this is what's going to slow it down.
Yeah. But until it doesn't, and that's what happens. That's what's called singularity.
I know.
That's the scary part.
Singularity
is where it takes off past that point, and we can't catch it.
Yeah. So exactly.
And
that part's scary. I mean, hopefully, but you're right. That eventually that will happen.
Yes.
But we got.
That's an alien.
But we all have to be in place. I mean, we got to get something in place to stop that part of it.
Well, Cass was like, we were talking a lot about this show coming up. We talk a lot. Actually, you know what I was saying, Keith? This should make you feel good. I'm going through, I wouldn't call it a crisis, but there's a lot of craziness, with my business and stuff going on right now. All good stuff. So, but I was telling Cass last night, how important has this show become? Like the way we talk about things, even spirituality now compared to when we started is vastly different, right? And so something she brought up last night was interesting. She said, so what is the meaning though? What is the meaning? I said, Cass, that's like, listen to the intro of the show, right? Like, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of AI? What is the meaning of dreams, right? They all seem to somehow be kind of intertwined in some weird way the more we talk about it. Do you get that feeling?
Yeah. I do. And one of the questions I wanted to ask her too is some people believe when we dream, we're actually going into another dimension.
Somebody brought it up to me today.
Actually, the characters in our dreams are real people, are real beings, I guess I should say.
Right.
Which, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just our I think it's just mainly our brain just kind of going through
cycling.
Well, but why can't it be like, there's always like figuring out your dreams, and that's a message. Well, why can't you just plainly tell me my dream? Hey, straighten up.
Well, okay, so
I
have
hey,
a theory. What? Okay, so because Cass was like, hey, really, she had heard it from a professor at one point that your dreams were just snippets of like your memories over the last 48 hours. And so my point to her was, okay, well, if that's the case, and if our dreams are trying to tell us something, but they can only draw from the snippets we've seen in the last 48 hours, that's why it doesn't make sense to us. That's why they can't just tell us plainly, because our subconscious is trying to tell us something, but the materials it has to tell us is only from the last 48 hours. It's not from like, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like trying to tell us this stuff. That's what I wanted to talk to Kelly about.
Jimmy had a recurring dream for his life when he, he said, because he didn't have any type of emotional bonding with his mom or his dad. But
right.
he said, in my dream, I was this little boy just looking for my mom, searching for my mom. And he goes, I had this nightmare over and over until he goes, once I reconnected with my mom and started building a relationship with her, he said the dreams went away.
Well, it's kind of interesting, I've even in the email I sent to her, and I've talked about this on the show a couple of times, is I didn't have a reoccurring dream that happened throughout my life, but I had stages of reoccurring dreams. So as a young child, probably until 12, from a moment of I can first remember till I was 12, it was like late 1800s, fever or something that has made me paralyzed.
Yeah.
Family around me, I'm sweating, but all of my thoughts that are going on in my head, I'm like saying them out loud. It's a fearful thing, right? And then, once I got into West Point, it was the drowning. I was drowning.
I was just going to ask you, because you had a recurring drowning dream all the time.
I couldn't reach it to the very top. I was tethered to the bottom, and then somebody would scream at me, "Wake up!" really loud, and this was very fearful.
You know what I think that is? I think probably in West Point, you're probably under a tremendous amount of pressure. You're trying to keep your head above water.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to balance all. God, I got to get through school. I got to get through this. I got to get through training. I got blah blah blah, and you're so pressured. You got so much stuff, and you're trying to swim to the top,
right?
To possibly break free of this. Were you under a lot of stress when you
for sure. Well, but like it's crazy because, like you said, the further you get away from that moment of crisis that you're in or something, you can grow out of it almost, right?
Yeah.
And I was always drawing a parallel though to my twin brother Nathan, not being able to fully communicate, right?
Right.
So like even from a young child, I remember thinking, is this dream have something to do with Nathan? Like, is it like, cause he's my twin brother that I can't speak to, And even when I was having the drowning dream, I felt like that. I had a recurring dream after that. I was climbing a mountain of floor tiles. And when I get to the very top, I'd step on one, slide all the way back to the bottom. Right.
Yeah.
That was when the tornado hit the facility. So there we go. Got it. Check. And then it was interesting because I was having this recurring dream before Nathan passed away. That it was like a funeral, or he wasn't doing well, he couldn't breathe. I was actually having shortness of breath leading up to the day he died, right? And so my point, I guess, is all those, was I just drawing from my memories and my subconscious or was that somebody else trying to tell me a message? I think that's the fundamental question you ask. Is it you within yourself, or is it exterior?
Or is it exterior? Right. Yeah, it's external. It's something. Is there a spirit guide or something trying to help you instead of just your brain trying to figure it out?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's $1 million question right there. But we was talking off air about, and I wonder if this happened to any of you guys. So if it has, this is one thing I've experienced in dreams before. It's like I can dream about a group of people.
This is interesting.
Yeah, this is weird. I can be in a dream where I'm with a group of people. I know all of them. I know their history. I know why they're my friends, and even the environment. Like, say we're up in the woods or something. I know the place where I'm at. Blah blah blah.
In the dream.
Okay. Consciously, I have no clue who these people are. I don't know where the hell
that was happening right now.
But there's a history with me and all these people in my dreams that I know in my dream.
Innately.
I recognize them innately. And then environmentally, I know where I'm at. But consciously, I have no idea who these people are and where I'm at.
Right.
So it's strange. And a lot of times when I have dreams, the person, I don't see them. They're always standing next to me.
Right.
So like if I'm hanging out with somebody, now sometimes I see people, but for the most part, it's like someone's next to me.
Right.
But I never turn to talk to them. It's just like we're just talking without looking at each other.
Would that be kind of like a spirit guide type thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Are you going to read those real fast? Dude, people are popping off in there in a good way.
I'm just trying to see. I gotta check out your no show and this Jimmy Church. Yeah, Glam Van. Jimmy Church was originally on Coast to Coast. That's where Art Bell, he started that. And now he has a show. He still hosts that, I think, but he has a show called Fade to Black. It's on YouTube. He also, I think it's on Spotify and probably other podcasts, but Kelly was on that and it was a really good interview.
Hey, before we forget, I want to keep going with your dream though, because I think it's very interesting. So you feel like there's a presence next to you in the dream that you can't see, but you're aware of.
And I do, and I don't consciously think about even looking at it. That's what's weird.
You don't need to, right?
No.
It's guiding you.
I don't know what it's doing. It's just like when we're communicating in a dream or something.
Yes.
And I guess, probably in a dream, I see myself talking, but it's telepath. I mean, but I'm not looking at this person next to me and they're not looking at me, I guess, because I don't know, maybe they are.
Hey, that's really interesting.
But it's weird. It's like they're always standing next to me.
Right.
But they're not in front of me. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had dreams where, like I said, where there's a group of people. It's like, okay, the guy coming to me and talking to me, I know him. We have a history, right?
Right.
In a dream, we have a history.
Right.
Consciously beats the hell out of me who he is. So have any of you guys, when you have dreams, are you familiar with people in your dreams that you've never met consciously, but you know about their history and you know about them?
Well, one thing that I thought was interesting when I was talking to Cass about this, because I was trying to kind of play devil's advocate a bit on that 48 hours thing, because, there's theories that dreams could be multidimensional. There's theories that dreams could be
I wonder that.
Lives.
I do wonder that.
There's theories
right.
that there's all these theories, and it's not our job on this show to say that one theory is better or right over another. It's to have a platform where we talk about these things. So when I was trying to play devil's advocate in my mind, I was thinking, okay, so if it's snippets of the last 24 to 48 hours, what happens when I have a dream that happened to me as a child, maybe 20 years ago? How is that? But what we talked about was, okay, because in that case, it wouldn't be in the last 48 hours, right? It would be from 20 years ago.
Right.
But what if throughout the day, whenever you're looking at pictures on the wall or you're hearing music or you're, so maybe it's my mom that had passed away coming to visit me or something, right? Maybe I'd seen that picture though, right? And so it's just interesting to kind of dissect some of those different theories.
Yeah. Do you ever have a dream like you're at home, but it's a home you used to live in?
I have West Point dreams. Bad.
Yeah. Because I'll have those. I'll have those too, and it's usually like the house I either grew up in Ponca City, like when it's a family type of dream,
right?
Or it'll be the house in Moore, the one on Highland.
Interesting.
But like I haven't lived here long to have that, you know what I mean? To start dreaming about. But I don't even know that I dream about the house on Edgewood.
Right.
Honestly,
sure.
I mean, it's usually the house. I'm usually back in Ponca City. When I was 15, I lived there from the time I was 10 to 15, or it's the house in Moore, which I was, 15 to, 17, 18 when I moved out or whatever.
Well, there's a whole other door you can like open with dreams too, because, like Freud talks about the ego, the super ego, the id, and these are different parts of you that are competing over things, right? Like Kelly was talking about, maybe it was Kelly or somebody else, some dream person talking about like when you want the chocolate, right? It's like, well, it tastes good, yeah, but it's gonna make me fat, like all these competing things. And so when you're having these dreams, one thing is like, how do you remember if we're dreaming every night and the only dreams you remember are from the Ponca City home and the Moore home and not the Edgewood home? Is it just because that's too close? Like there's some part of your subconscious that you're not ready for that.
Here's what I think.
Something attached to it.
I think my fondest memories of growing up was during that age where I lived in that house. And then when I moved to Moore, I had great fond memories of that house. And then it seemed like the rest of my life was just a struggle.
Right. So, well, you became an adult.
And becoming an adult and just, going through everything that we go through, like worrying about bills, worrying about, sort of stress. So I think it's almost like it takes me back to a time when I lived in those homes when I was a teenager or even a preteen.
Right.
That those were the free times, those were the fun times, things like that. I'm going to check my phone, by the way.
Okay.
Just in case Kelly is getting back with us.
Wouldn't it go back to I think this is a funny name that we're coming up with too, like the dirty diapers theory, right? Where, as a teenager though, what you're concerned with is far less serious than that of an adult, right? So you'd be able to access those memories way easier.
Yeah. I didn't hear any of that because I was reading the text message.
Wait. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hang on a second. We got another 20 minutes.
Yeah, bring them on, dude.
Matt, if you want to come on, I'll just put a link in the chat, and because I apologize, you guys. We got to get someone to read our chat messages and let us know what's going on. And Susie's
just freestyling.
Susie's doing that, and she said that Matt was saying some pretty cool things about the dreams and whatnot. So hang on just a second. Let me get to where I invite a guest. Yeah, I hope Kelly's okay. I hope nothing.
Yeah, seriously.
Like a family tragedy or something. So, boom. All right. So, Matt, if you want to come on, talk about dreams, baby, let's do it. Like I said, we still got another 20 minutes if you want.
Absolutely.
Or, if, anybody. If anybody wants to.
Man, it's been a great.
Got something to say, man. Click the link. I can handle all sorts of guests on here.
We're gonna have a party.
Man, this fan out. It feels good, but it's like,
yeah.
All my stuff's blowing away.
Hey, great show.
Hey, speaking of which, tomorrow we got to be weather aware.
Yes.
High risk tornadoes tomorrow. So I hate this part of the season, man.
Do. I know you do.
I hate the tornado. And I should probably just I should go tornado chasing one time just to get that fear out, right?
You know what? This year, let's go tornado chasing and do a seance in the same year.
Oh my God. I know, right?
That's going to be super interesting, man.
Yeah, it will be. That's going to be a fun event. I hope some of our viewers can actually come down for that. And like I said, if you come down to this event we're going to do
Metro OKC
in late October, we'll give you a 4-day pass free.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you go to trouble to do all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun, man, because Dean's going to do we're going to have a bunch of events for that.
It's going to be so cool. And I think it's something hopefully.
And we can take you know what? And the more people we can have out in that field, meditating, concentrating on seeing something, the better your chances are.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I put that up there, Matt. If you don't feel like coming on, dude, that's fine. If anybody else wants to come on, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine.
Hey, just throwing this out there too. I want this to be, the first impression thing is like a really good thing to live by. I want this to be something that every year Dean's like, I'm coming down. I got it booked.
I don't see why we couldn't.
I want
to get involved in doing some more lives. Like, we eventually we need to go do a ghost hunting thing, right?
Hey,
and then have if I would have known that, because they shut the spiritual seminar thing down for COVID for 3 years.
Right.
Because remember, I got the big banner, right?
Yep.
So we could hang that on the wall. We could get our own booth there. We could shoot live, talk to some of the psychics, talk to some of the people who sell the crystals and all the
pictures, the chakra pictures.
How does that work?
Don't know.
I'd like to get someone on it.
I'm gonna reach out to her. I got her email address.
Yeah, reach out to her and ask her how does a camera pick up chakra, and how do you know it's just not a rainbow of just colors or whatever?
Well, why would it?
How would it pick up on a spiritual sense?
I know, but why would it
Because then you could have a ghost camera. Okay.
But here's my thing: if I'm standing in line and it takes a picture of me, and then I'm like, "Oh, cool, thank you for my green picture," and then it takes a picture of you, and it's like, "Oh, cool, thank you for my orange picture." And then we look at our astrological signs or numbers or whatever it is, and that's actually what it compares to, then that's just really interesting. So I don't know. There's a whole science behind it, supposedly. So we'll find out. We'll have her on. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So I'm looking.
Hi, Moon Girl.
Man, we haven't seen. Oh, yeah. I can't say her name, but I know who you are. Hey, Moon Girl. Good seeing you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Hey, Bonnie Rampy, if she could somehow come up that week too and summon a UFO, dude, those videos are remarkable.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we could just fly her in.
We say it over and over again, and I don't think people, until you really watch it,
we should
be skeptical as hell. Watch it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if we can fly her in, put her up in a hotel or something, because obviously we know she can summon them.
It's the videos. She's got a lot of them. It's not just one time. This didn't happen just one time.
But like I said, man, if she comes, we gotta figure it out. We got to plan on renting the best cameras there is.
You said you want to see.
I want to see the alien waving at me through the window.
Yep.
And I know that there's cameras out there that are really, really good, right?
Right.
And then we can get some good video. And that could also, get Jimmy Church, man. He's all about that stuff. Let's go, Jimmy. And be on his show or have him on and talk about that and see what he thinks, because he's big time into wanting to know the secrets of aliens, UFOs, as everybody.
Oh, for sure. Think.
Except for the non-believers.
Well, those who are scared.
Yeah. I'm going to read some of these real quick here to myself.
Go for it.
Garrett will sing a song or something for you.
Dreams create memories. Their coping mechanisms. Dreams help grief.
Yep.
Sadness, depression.
Dreams create memories. They are coping mechanisms. Dreams help grief, sadness. I'm just repeating what you said. We experience emotions that override our brain. Correct. So, Matt, do you think that that's all there is to it other than that? Or do you think there's some like weirdness, spiritual guide or something?
I mean, wouldn't it just be a portal though? Like if your spiritual guide wanted to hop in, wouldn't it be into your subconscious? Like, wouldn't that be like the
that goes back to your diaper changing. We were not paying attention when we were awake.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So the best time it probably would think to get to you is like maybe through a dream. But then again, like I brought up, well, just tell me. I don't want to sit there.
Right.
I don't need a riddle.
But that would make sense if it only had what your brain has in the last 24 hours. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that they wouldn't be able just to tell you?
Coffee's cold now.
I know, that's my favorite.
Iced coffee is good. I haven't had iced coffee in a long time.
I like room temperature black coffee.
Really? I like piping. I mean, not piping hot, but I like good hot coffee.
You want it to melt your mouth off.
Oh, it's funny because I can drink really hot stuff, and Dylan and Taylor, they're like, they go, is it hot? Because they want a sip of it.
Yeah.
No, not really. And they're like,
yeah.
Has a big blister on his lip.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, man. It's just my body has acclimated to hot temperatures. Like I don't really burn my mouth that much.
That's why aliens.
Oh, you know what the worst is?
Oh God.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are you mad?
No.
Okay. The other day, is this not the worst? Remember, like you take a bite of hot pizza, and it puts a blister on your gum, on the inside of your gum.
Dude.
And then you can't help but take your tongue and just keep rubbing it and rubbing it.
Like 2 days later, it's still there.
It's still there. And it's like the worst pain. Anything you eat or drink, it hurts.
It's awful.
Sucks. I'm kind of thinking Kelly Ann. I'm kind of thinking Kelly Sullivan Walden
She's like, I hate life after life.
She probably, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, she's so
sweet.
The funny thing,
great energy. Like,
I think I don't think she would have stood us up. I think something's happened. Is there some? What if I did put Central Time, right?
Well, that's what if some Mandela effect stuff's happening? Because even the thing with Dean, where we're like, hey, let's get on a call Thursday, and he's like, tomorrow I can't do it. And we're like, no, we said Thursday, Dean, not Wednesday.
Yeah.
So what if we're just a day off? What if we're slipping time slip?
I don't know.
God.
No, she sent the email saying, hey, I'm looking forward to being with you guys tomorrow night, right?
Yep.
But there could be, like, if I put Central Time, I'm pretty sure. I think she lives on the West Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would put her at 6:45, 7:48, 49. Yeah, that put her at 6:45 right now.
She's gonna like,
so watch her. Yeah, she'll probably pop in here in a minute and go, hey, Kelly, got 15 minutes before our show's over. Or she, I don't know.
Hey, but you know what though? You know what's so great about our show is like if this was episode 20, we'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
But now
I don't know. I think even back then we would have
been fine. But I'm just saying.
God, remember when we used to record 2 to 3 podcasts a week?
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did we? I mean, I'm thinking it's hard enough researching. When we have guests on, trying to cram that in a week with our jobs and everything else, right?
Yeah.
But we were knocking out 2 podcasts a week, I think. And then I think even for a while, didn't we go live like on Tuesdays and Thursdays or something? So I don't know how we did that.
I just love this show.
And we did so much. I mean, God, I remember those days.
Mm-hmm.
And then back then, that's like you talked about when I had to edit. And like I said, I had one guest that kept saying and I had to edit like, and I'm not joking, like 200
I remember that
out of that thing, and I got so good at recognizing the wave of a
Yeah.
I could just go boom, 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 boom.
Man, it was like so many funny things have happened.
Oh, the awkward pauses.
Yeah.
And I'd have to. Yeah, so what I did, I cut space out, so it sounds like
into it.
That she was going right into the question when actually it was like awkward silence for a little bit.
Now we just roll. With it.
Oh man, those were the days, weren't they?
Well, hey, let's call it.
Yeah, let's call it.
I'm gonna really focus up for real. I'm glad that at least we went down this path, because I've realized I do need to focus a little bit more on my sleep and on trying to listen to my subconscious and my dreams. So I'm going to try that.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, I don't even remember my dreams.
I never do.
Isn't it weird though, how like for me anyway, this is kind of how it works out. I wake up, I remember the dream, and as the day goes on, it fades away.
Isn't that kind of like what happens when you're born into this world? If you've had past lives and stuff, like they say, as you are born into this world, the memories fade.
Yeah.
Just pointing that fact. I just want to point that out.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So,
well, guys, sorry about that.
No,
hopefully Kelly is okay.
Yes.
And didn't get in an accident or something tragic happened to her family.
For sure.
We'll definitely try to reschedule her. She's a busy gal, I'm sure.
She is.
So hopefully we can get her back on. But I'm sure she's got a good explanation.
Sure.
So
great show though, Keith.
That was fun. But thank you guys for showing up tonight. We love you, as we always say.
Matt, good seeing you, dude.
Matt, good seeing you. I will get with you. Yeah, I just looked at it. I saw, hey, you want to do live, and I was like, right in the middle of something, and then I feel so bad because it pops up on your screen. I didn't actually click on it yet. I saw it, and I hadn't clicked on it. So Matt, I apologize for that. But yeah, definitely, dude. We'll do a live.
For sure.
We'll get you scheduled, man, and we'll do a live together. We can talk about whatever you want, man. So all right. Next week, do we have our? We don't have a guest yet.
But we're gonna talk because we do. But
hopefully we'll have Kelly.
We'll
back on, right?
Yeah, we'll see what's going on.
All right, we love you guys.
Love you.
Stay tuned and be well and peace out.